materials and things. Yes. And also we have studied about natural fibers and their properties also we have studied in that class only about natural fibers. Natural fibers. What are the natural fibers? What are the natural fibers? Silk and wool. Next. Yes, wool, cotton, then jute. These all are the fibers, natural fibers we have discussed. And acids and bases, salts. You also studied soil and its properties in 7th class. 7th class. Yes, acids and bases. Acids and bases we have discussed. Yes. And also we have discussed about soil and its properties in the last lesson, I think. Its properties we have discussed. Layers of the soil also we have discussed at that time. Yes. Acids, bases and salts we have discussed at that time. And now we are going to see about metals and non-metals. Yes, properties of metals and non-metals, which are metals and which are non-metals, we'll see now. And also the properties of metals and non-metals we have discussed, we are going to discuss now. And the number of metals in our surroundings we can observe, those are, I think, the utensils, whatever we are using in our kitchen. So those are made up of aluminum and some are copper. Yes, gold ornaments we are using, iron metals, iron materials we are using, etc. And also brass. Yes, brass we are using, bronze we are using, bronze, kanchu, bronze, brass, ittadi, kanchu, all we are using in our daily life, etc. Yes, all the items which are comes under metals. And how can we identify which one is metal and which one is not metal, non-metal? How can we identify? So total, how can we identify, children? Yes, all of you keep your phones mute. We are getting disturbance here. Getting disturbance. Keep your phone mute. Yes. Total 7 members joined, Nana. Who is extra? Two times it is showing Uma Shankar. Yes, sir. Only 6 members we have. And sometimes sir will join. Yes? Did you observe? Not in our class. In maths class. Is he joined anytime? For 9th people he joined today. Yes, try to name the metals from which objects are made. So by observing like this, which one is the material here we have used? Which material we have used here? Yes, gold. And this one is iron. Yes, and this one is also made up of iron. And what is this? Brass. Yes, brass and bronze. Those two are examples for ittadi and kanchu in Telugu. Yes, copper ante ragi. Telusu kada. Gold మీకు తెలుసు. Aluminium. Yes, aluminium, white color. Whatever the utensils we are using for cooking. And how can we identify? Your first answer is gold. Added aluminium, silver, lead. Lead, you know na? Lead is a metal or non-metal? Lead. Yes, like this we can understand iron, copper, tin, mercury. So among all these, how can we identify which one is steel? మీకు తెలుసా steel? Copper mixed, carbon dioxide plus iron will get steel. Yes, stainless steel. Steel we know na? Here carbon dioxide and iron mixing together to form steel. So steel form అవుతుంది. And metals, how can we identify? By looking we can identify. Keep your phones mute, Nana. Keep your phones mute, all of you. So by looking we can observe. Yes, and by shining also we can identify. By hardness or softness we can, and breakable or unbreakable. So these all are the properties we can observe, and we can identify which material is comes under metal and which material is comes under non-metal. So physical properties. First we need to understand about Physical properties. Physical properties. Steel. So in this steel, iron reacts with carbon dioxide. We'll get steel. Yes? And physical properties, first we need to understand physical properties of metals. Physical properties of metals we are going to understand now. So before we start this, first collect pieces of iron nails. Yes, copper, zinc, sulfur powder, aluminium and carbon, magnesium and iodine for carrying out the activities. So if we observe iron, is it shining or not? Shining or not? Shining. Zinc not shining, copper shining, sulfur not shining, aluminium shining and carbon also not shining, magnesium not shining, iodine not shining. So like that we can identify by using the properties of how it is looking. Yes, lustrous or luminous or not. Lustrous or luminous means shining, Nana. Property of shininess. So appearance, first property, first physical property we can understand is appearance here. Appearance means that may be lustrous or luminous or not. Non-lustrous. So the material that do not shine are non-lustrous. The materials, here I am writing children, the materials which have a bright surface for look, surface while we are observing, which are having bright surfaces and reflect light. And reflect light are called lustrous materials. Lustrous materials. Yes, and materials that do not shine are non-lustrous. Iron. Who is responding? Lustrous. Why you are shouting like that, Uma? So appearance which are looking bright or which are looking dull. So that is appearance, children. Lustrous also we can call that one. Okay, go out. Next, sonority. Sonority is about sound, Nana. Yes? Hard or soft and sound also will give sometimes. Gun like sound will comes. Ringing, bell ringing sound. Box made a ringing sound. In our school bell, ringing bell. Yes? Some will give spoon will beat with another spoon will get some sound. So that is about sonority. Okay? Respond me. Yes. Yes. It is similar to giving sound. Giving sound. For example, school bell ringing. Bell ringing. Yes? Ringing bell sound. Bell ringing sound. For example, bell ringing sound. So this is about sound. While we are listening, by this also we can decide which one is metal or not. So only lustrous unnanta matrana, shiny ainanta matrana, we cannot identify that is metal or non-metal, because zinc is metal, but it is not shiny in nature. Zinc shiny nature undadu. And while coming to the materials produce sound when they drop down on the hard surface. Some materials. Are you writing, children? Produce. Umashank. Some materials produce sound when they who left, Nana? Only 6 members it is showing. Who left? Hard surface. Why she went off? So listening the sound produced by some material. So some materials will give sounds and some are not giving sound. So in these, among these two, these all, copper will give sound, aluminum will give sound. Yes, magnesium, sound will give or not? Sulfur will not, carbon will not give. Iodine will not give sound. Yes, zinc will give sound or not? Zinc means metal, Nana, which is made, which is useful for making that taps and all. Yes, they are looking not like steel, not like iron. So that is made by zinc, Nana, zinc. So material sample produce sound. Iron will produce sound. Yes. Steel will produce sound. What are the others? Yes. Copper will give sound or not? Copper, aluminum, utensils, if we, yes, those will give sound. And material sample that do not, carbon will not give sound. Yes. And another one also you can give examples which are not giving sound in our daily life. While we are throwing to sonorous materials, which while we are throwing to the hard surface, it should be give sound. Those are comes under sonorous. Yes, metals are always sonorous only, children. And sulfur will not give sounds. Yes, sulfur will not give sounds. And more also we can give examples. Iodine will not give sounds. Iodine will not give sounds. And another also you can give any other example also you can give, Nana. Yes. Most probably all metals will give sound. Those all are said to be materials which produce ringing sound are called sonorous materials. Materials which produce ringing sound. Ringing sound. Sound are called sonorous. Sonorous materials. Which materials are called as here? So mercury will not give sound, but mercury comes under, it is a metal but it is not sonorous. So ఈ two properties తోనే మనం decide చేయలేము. We need to know some more properties. So next property is malleability, third property. This one is third one. This one is second one. Malleability. So malleability అంటే ఏంటనుకుంటున్నారు? ఉమాశంకర్, can you tell what is malleability? Malleability meaning ఏంటి? Which can able to make a thin sheet, Nana. Which can able to make a thin, సన్నగా రేకుల్లాగా కొట్టగలిగితే దట్ ప్రాపర్టీ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ malleability. థిన్ షీట్స్ కింద కొట్టగలగాలి దాన్ని. So aluminum can able to do that. Yes, iron also. Small iron sheets we can make. Yes, by beating it we can make a small thin sheet we can make. So that is called as here thin sheets. Those capability of metal to make a thin sheet is called malleability of that material. Malleability. Yes, is it clear? Next property I will explain you and then afterwards I will give you notes. Ductility, Nana. Malleability ante small sheets we can make. Ductility means small wires. తీగల్లాగా కొట్టగలగడం, తీగల్లాగా కట్ చేయాలి, like this copper wires. And gold is more able to do like this. అందుకే మనకు ఆర్నమెంట్స్ అనేవి గోల్డ్ తోనే ఈజీగా వస్తాయి. Ductility is more for gold. Yes, wires make the property of drawing into a material into fine wires is called ductility. The property of drawing a metal to make fine wires is called ductility. So ductility and the property of by where flattened by electrical conductivity which allow current through it. For example, copper we are using for passing electricity, that we know inside of the wires we have copper wire we have inside. So electrical conductivity is also most important here. వెళ్ళి అక్కడ కూర్చోపో, కొడతా ఇప్పుడు నేను. go. Next one, heat conduction. Some are observing more heat, some are not observing heat. So heat conductivity. Conductivity means which allowing through it. Electricity allow cheste electrical conductivity antaru. Through it. Copper wire will allow current through it. So metals are good conductors of current and heat. తొందరగా హీట్ అవుతాయి కదా, అండ్ కరెంట్ కూడా మెటల్స్ కి పాస్ అవుతుంది. ఎలక్ట్రిక్ షాక్ పాసిబిలిటీ మెటల్స్ కి ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. ఈజ్ ఇట్? సో this is the information about physical properties, and in the next class we will start with chemical properties. These notes also I will give you now. You can copy this. Yes, very good. Metals like copper and iron stronger than tools made up of stone and wood. Yes, the advantage is being to different shapes, being to make different shapes. So malleability, it is the property converted into property of material can be converted into thin sheets. Thin, not small, thin sheets. రేకులాగా కొట్టగలగడం అన్నమాట. The materials which can be flattened. స్వీట్స్ మీద చిన్న అల్యూమినియం ప్యాకింగ్ ఉంటుంది, అల్యూమినియం ఫాయిల్ ఉంటుంది స్వీట్స్ మీద, చూసిరా? ఫర్ ప్యాకింగ్ ఫుడ్. And for packing food they are using that in that fast food centers and all they will give some plates. Yes, those are made up of aluminium foil. Small sheet anamata, aluminium తో చేసిన small sheet అది. Yes, that is aluminium foil used to packing food. Yes, and clay material, by beating we can shape different materials we can give by clay. Clay తెలుసు కదా మీకు? Yeah, the materials which can be flattened into thin sheets are called malleable materials. Yes, I think you all got my these physical properties. Appearance you clear, I think. Appearance means lustrous, shiny or not. So the metals are always shiny. Some metals are shiny and some are not shiny, but due to that we cannot identify that one is metal or not. Sonority. Some metals are giving bell ringing sound. While we are throwing those into a hard surface, we'll get a ringing sound. So those are also comes under metals. Most probably metals will give sound. For example, mercury will not give sound, but it is a metal. So due to that property we cannot identify that one is metal or not. Manamu utta sonority, luster annangane metals అని చెప్పలేం. So more properties we have. That is malleability. So it is the property to make a thin sheet. And to make a fine wire is ductility. That property is called ductility. ఈ properties అయితే okay కదా all of you? 4 properties. And metals are good conductors of electricity and they will pass electricity through it and heat through it. వాటి నుంచి electricity pass అవుతుంది and heat కూడా pass అవుతుంది. Those two are also comes under physical properties. These notes I will give you tomorrow. Okay? Is it okay, children? And these photocopies I will send you. Copy all these properties. Okay? Tomorrow we'll see further. Thank you for nice class with you.